Thank y'all for taking the time.
Our pleasure, bro. Thanks for having us.
Ryan and I are blessed as can be beyond words. We get to cover the biggest sporting events in the world, Super Bowl and national championships and the Masters and the Indianapolis 500. And we try to be intentional about that blessing, but sometimes it feels like a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Y'all's first
What
record
contest
came out.
did you lose to come here?
We lost a bet.
You did.
Y'all's first record came out 25 years ago. What's been the challenge in the process of making sure that it's a purpose and a craft and not a job?
I think the biggest challenge in 25 years is making sure the next project is better than the last. I mean,
But that can be exhausting.
it's excruciatingly exhausting because you wake up and you go, oh, holy crap, like what are we going to do now? We had, you know, X amount of hit songs on this record. Now we've got to try to outdo ourselves, and now we got to tour that. And I think that's one of the reasons why we felt like we were trapped on the hamster wheel of tour, album, tour, album, tour, album, tour, album. We woke up one day 20 years later and we were like, we need a break. We'd never had a real break. So we've been off the last 5 years, and I think in a lot of ways, the things that mattered back during that time now matter less, and the things we made like big issues out of are really insignificant now because we appreciate what we had in different ways now.
Was that issues between y'all, or
No.
was that let's work?
No, I think it was, shut up!
We don't like each other very much most of the time either.
Yeah.
No, there weren't really issues between us, but you know, it's like a marriage. We know how to push each other's buttons. You know how to get on each other's nerves, and you certainly know that after a while of being in the same room that you need to get away from each other.
I had no idea. Jim.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think it did all of us really good to kind of go away and live without flats and realize what life was going to be like. And now that we've come back to it, it feels different in a whole brand new way.
Well, and the difference is too, I mean, you think about who in our lifetime would have thought the whole world would have shut down like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So no matter what you were doing, if it was music or golf or football or working at McDonald's, but the whole world stopped like that. And it was a real reminder that God is on the throne, and that how much importance we put into things that absolutely did not matter. It was a great reminder. Tomorrow's never promised. When you wake up and God gives you breath in your lungs every single day, that is truly a gift.
And really how insignificant our plans are.
Oh yeah, without a
Doesn't
fact.
matter how much
Yeah.
we put thought into planning the future. When he decides to step in and show you another way and pull the rug out from under you, sometimes you don't get it, but it can be the best thing to happen in your life.
Better be paying attention, right? And reconnecting with family. I mean, for us, you know, I think everybody was locked in their homes or whatever, you know, in different states.
We
different
reconnected
cities.
for too long during that pandemic. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
say,
I'll be
amen.
honest, yeah.
Being that
Amen.
for
I lost 3 nephews and an uncle just because I kicked them out. They were there. Had to get them gone after a bit.
But pandemic aside, the three of us taking a break and getting off the road and getting away from one another, we still communicated, but getting back with our families and just being a dad, you know, and seeing my mom and dad more and my siblings, and that was a blessing for us to be able to afford to be able to do that the past 6 years.
All right, so the music aside, when I Google you guys, all we want to do is look cool, right? Google Images is just nothing but the three of y'all looking cool. Like, how do you pull off like the
Not
picture?
my pictures.
No, but like,
You didn't
but
see
like,
mine?
but like it's the U2 deal, right? The three of you looking in 3 different directions and the arms. Like, how do y'all pull that off? Because it doesn't matter what year it is, 25 years. This that's a
It's a
cool
lot of
picture.
experience and a lot of training in photo shoot.
25 years.
I'm telling you, my Google pictures look terrible. My mouth is, I don't know where I'm at during that thing, but every time it's, mouth, and everybody puts some little memes in there, the ribs in my mouth, the stuff. I ain't found one good yet of me. I'm just
I've
mouth
seen
open.
a lot of good ones of you. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Well, you know, I
Say it's AI. not me.
PTSD, I'm never getting on there again. Alexa, show me a good picture of me.
I fully agree with you. I look great.
But it's the three. But you know what? It's like the group shot. I remember when we took our pictures for like the yearbook. We're like, all right, let's do the album cover. Everybody looking 3 different. But y'all pull that off, arms on the shoulders, and looking 3 of it. It's a brick wall, and it's just.
There's a lot of direction in that. When you got a great photographer like you, he will tell you guys like, okay, we need you look off this way. Now look back to me. Now get down like and be like this. And it's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. But somehow
Your pants are way too
Look
tight
normal,
to do
though.
that much.
Yeah.
No, okay, one more time for the 200th time.
And Renee, our stylist, is incredible, so she makes us all look good.
Over here somewhere.
Yeah, keep that up.
Yeah.
Oh, and our
Charlotte.
makeup artist, Charlotte.
Yeah,
keep
Charlie,
it
okay.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It takes a village.
It
does.
takes a village.
Ozempic.
Village and Ozempic.
Next tour sponsor, maybe. Huh?
I want to go back to distance because what y'all said really is interesting to me. What did you learn about these two? What did you learn about these two? What did you learn about these two through distance?
That's a great question.
They smell better.
When you're not around them, it smells a lot better.
Yeah.
I would, for myself personally, would just say it's such a blessing to get back. And that proves to me that there's a love and a power within the three of us and a conviction between the three of us and a connection that no one else on this earth has except for the three of us.
Yeah.
And it made me just appreciate it so much more. I've always known it. You know, I wanted to get away from it for a while too, but then I go, that's me. They are a part of me in such a way that nobody else on this earth is. And so
That's a great
it's just
answer.
really, yeah, it's very special to me. Great reminder.
I think that from, were you going to talk?
You guys aren't gonna,
Each other's sentences.
you guys aren't going to beat that one anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just piggyback on what he said. I realized after a little while of not doing this, after it being second nature for so long and for so many years, and suddenly have it stripped away and be sitting there 2 years later, they were bigger parts of my life than I gave them credit for. You know, not having it, not having someone to share all of the stuff that you go through in life and trying to create a career together. I mean, we've experienced things together that no one else in our circle will ever know what that's like. Not even our wives. You know, we worked hard and starved to be where we are, and to suddenly not have that connection was a really big hole, you know, in our souls.
But
For me, it
Gary, am I wrong? Yeah, I think I remember this. Forgive me if I'm incorrect. Weren't y'all going to be done before COVID? Weren't y'all going to do a final farewell goodbye?
Yeah, that was the name of the tour.
Ish.
You know? Ish. Yeah. It was kind of at that point. We got off this Canadian tour, and like I said, it was kind of like, you know, we're actually setting up for 2020. It was going to be 2 decades of flats, you know. So we'd been in, you know, meetings with, you know, it was going to be a celebration of what we've been able to do for 2 decades, you know, with the Grammys to People's Choice to the ACM, CMAs, American Music Awards, all that kind of stuff was going through the stuff, you know. So it was, we were kind of at that place, and it was just like, man, we really need to take a break, but, you know, do we not? All that kind of stuff. So COVID was horrible, but it was almost kind of a blessing. It was a push the button again kind of thing. And what I learned too during that time was, I think the three of us during that time really got a definition of what each of us, we've talked about it forever, but what each of us brings to the table, you know. As Jay being so multi-talented with his stuff, Joe Don with his guitar playing and his singing, you know, it just becomes, when you do it so long and you do it so much, you kind of overlook the gifts that each person's been given, you know what I mean? And so I think it was a reminder and tap on the shoulder like, yeah, you know, because, you know, ego becomes a big thing, especially when you're making money and you're doing all this. And
ego ain't your amigo. You know that?
I mean, it could turn into, you know what, hey, look, if it wasn't, you know, that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But it was kind of a nice break to go, gosh, man, it takes the three of us to do what we've done. Or God wouldn't have presented it that way.
But everything y'all said, that's family,
Yeah,
right? And you got to be away from family to appreciate family, right?
You do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
thank y'all for this.
I
you
appreciate
so
you
much.
guys.
Yeah.
You guys,
No killing.
thanks for your time.